before.
Something is wrong, and we need to figure out what that is and stop it.
What we found is a pattern or practice of systemic deficiencies that have pervaded the Albuquerque Police Department for many years.
This is the people's meeting. This justice, no peace.
This office is a crime scene.
Well, there's no doubt there's been a surge of protest in Albuquerque in the past few months. A number of demonstrators, including a UNM professor there, protesting APD and how the city is handling with the crisis. The last one happening just this past Monday at City Hall. Protesters pretty much barged their way to try to get into Mayor R.J. Berry's office. He was out of town. They wanted to talk with him. Well, Mayor Berry is here to talk about this and more with us this morning. Good morning, Mayor. It's good to see you.
Good to see you.
When you got a call on Monday and you heard protesters kind of stormed into City Hall, the area outside your office, what was your reaction to that?
Well, I think there's better ways we can go about having a robust discussion, frankly. We've met with some of the folks that were the protesters that came into the office already. We're trying to make plans to meet with some of the other groups, as well as meeting with a broad and diverse group of folks in Albuquerque, from the business community to families who've been impacted by officer-involved shootings, to officers and their families themselves. So we're having a very good dialogue, and we would invite folks to engage in a more productive way of going about that. But once again, we can't control their actions. We can just control, from our standpoint, trying to create this dialogue.
So you have met with some of these protesters who were here on Monday that they've said he won't meet with us.
I wasn't here, so I'd have to go through and see everybody that was there, but I was told by our staff that some of the people that came up were people that we've already met with, actually.
How much negative attention does this bring to the issue? You talk about that there's a right way and a wrong way to talk about something. Does this just hurt the process?
Listen, it is a process. It's not an event, and it's going to take months to get to a point as a community where we're having the dialogue where we want it to be. Next week, I'll be talking about some additional initiatives for us to get input from people throughout the community. And so, once again, it's an important topic. It's an emotional topic. It's a topic that needs to be discussed, just like some of the other important topics that we have in Albuquerque and other cities across the country have. And so what we're going to do is we're going to create an environment where people can come and not only give us their concerns and people do need to vent their frustrations and anger. We understand that, but we also need to get to a point, and a lot of the community is already at this point, where they're giving us solutions. What do you think would be the best thing for us to do, so that when we're crafting this negotiated agreement with the Department of Justice, we can take this input. You can take emotion and anger, and it's hard to take that to the negotiating table. Tell us what you'd like to see done, and then we can try to build that into an agreement. So it's a difficult situation, but we'll get through it as a community, and already the discussion from a citywide standpoint is getting better and better, and we'll just ask folks to be part of the solution as well.
Yeah, I think there's a saying that goes, if you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. Real quick, you mentioned the DOJ. Any idea when the final plan from the DOJ is going to be out?
Well, it won't be a final plan. What they'll do is they'll send recommendations in originally, then we'll start the process of crafting this agreement. And what we're trying to do as an administration is craft an agreement that certainly brings reform to the table, works for the community, creates better outcomes, but also works for the department, because we have officers every day that have to go out and protect lives and property in our city. So we want to make sure we do it right. A lot of cities have taken 6 to 8 to 12 months to negotiate these agreements. We're not saying it's going to take that long, but what we do want to make sure is that we negotiate something that actually works, that has measurable milestones in it, so that we can know when we're making progress. We are waiting for the DOJ now to come through with their preliminary recommendations. We think it may be as early as next week.
Okay, be great to hear.
Yeah.
You talk about part of the solution to all of this is dealing with people in the community who have mental health issues. Charity you helped create, Albuquerque Headed Home, helps get people who are homeless off the streets. You announced yesterday you've helped 359 men, women, and children, including a number of veterans. How much is that just helping the community in general?
Well, when I first got into the mayor's office, we wanted to work on a homelessness initiative, and we wanted to concentrate on the chronically homeless, the most medically vulnerable, most likely to die on the streets. We started in our first year trying to house 75. We did. The second year was 90. Now that we're into our 5th year, we're up to 331 individuals, 359 total if you include family members, of people that we've been able to get off the streets and put into housing. 83% of these individuals are living with mental health issues, for an example. So, and we know we're saving millions of dollars, by not having folks ending up in the emergency room. So that's why we call heading home the smart way to do the right thing. So it's a testament to this community embracing a difficult issue, coming together as a community and really working it through. That's why I have so much confidence that we can work through some of the police community issues, is because we've shown that we can tackle difficult issues and come through with meaningful results.
So if you take care of some of the mental health issues, you'll solve some of the police issues, and you'll solve some of the money issues in the city.
The White House asked us to be one of the very first cities to start a mental health town hall. We've had 5 or 6 meetings now locally where we have a really good discussion going on about mental health issues, services that are available, gaps in services, redundancies in services. How do we bring everybody together on what we call a collective impact model, so that it's not just 3 people doing the same thing, nobody doing these other things that we need to do. And it works. It worked for heading home. I have confidence that it'll work for the mental health issues, and then we can really be a national leader, just like we are on the homelessness initiatives. There are now cities across the country. Anaheim, California just adopted a program like Heading Home and rebranded it for their city. So we know we can be a leader here.
You and First Lady Maria Berry just helped raise a lot of money for Heading Home.
You and
the Mayor's
Chad.
Gala. Chad and I were there.
You were our host.
Sorry if we said anything inappropriate there.
It was a great evening. And
it was a blast.
And we raised almost $200,000 for local charities.
And some of that for Albuquerque Heading Home.
Actually, $58,000 of that's going for homeless veterans. And so it's just another testament to this is a very giving community. You give people in Albuquerque a chance to do good things, and every time, since I've been the mayor, never seen an opportunity where this city needed to step up when it didn't. And I'm really proud of our town.
Okay, I want to take you back to that night real quick. Take a look at this. Oh, we cut off the music there. Mayor R.J. Berry, I shot this video of you. You're jamming up there. The Pink Flamingos, by the way, I got to say, I've been to a lot of galas. This one, there's Mrs. Berry right there, jamming on the tambourines too. This one took the cake. What was it like for you to get up there? You're a huge music guy. I didn't know how big of a music guy you were until just a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, no, I'm in the tank for music. I don't care if it's symphonic music or jazz or blues or country, western. I mean, or folks. I love music.
Yeah.
And so first of all, we had the Pink Flamingos, and what a great band. They're local, and
they play all around the world.
And they do. They play all around the world, and they just had the crowd going from the beginning to the end, and people had a very, very nice time. They asked me to come up and play, and I'm really. It's uncomfortable for me to do that because as a mayor, as a mayor,
you're in front of people all the time. That's
but as a
hard for me to
mayor,
believe.
but you don't want to do the mayor thing like, look at me, I'm playing guitar. But I had a blast. I mean,
Yeah.
I really had a blast, and I play guitar. I have since I was in high school, and we played some Stones music and played some Black Keys, and then they had me join in on a couple other songs. He was just telling me, okay, CDG, go.
Okay, so I was going to ask you, did you talk with them? Did you know what you were going to play, or is just this kind of impromptu
The 2 songs,
stuff?
well, we practiced one time in the afternoon for the 2 songs we were going to play, but then after that, he said, "Hey, just stay on stage. I'll tell you the keys, or I'll tell you the chords." And so we're playing "Sweet Home Alabama." It was fun. It was great.
It was a blast. I got to say, I had a fun at it.
Yeah,
Thank
I
you
don't
for
think I
having
should
Chad
quit my day job, however, to be a working musician, because I'm just in awe of artists in general, painters, people who work in the spoken word, musicians. If you can make a living in the arts, I'm a huge fan of you. And so these folks that I get a chance to play with, for me, it's a humbling experience because they're out there doing great things, making people happy, playing music. It's good stuff.
It's good stuff. And again, $200,000 raised for charities.
In our community, and that puts for the galas, since we've been in, a little over $800,000 that this community has come through and helped the great nonprofits in our community. So kudos to everybody.
All right. Mayor Richard Berry, it's good to see you. We'll see you in a
Good to
couple
see
weeks.
You betcha.
All right.
Thanks for hosting too. You guys did a wonderful job.
It was our pleasure to be there. The band and everything and the money was great.